Hello. Today, our presentation is on Hiroshi Sugimoto and modern photography. We'll be speaking on how this Japanese photographer uses his unique style to create timeless, thought-provoking images. Hiroshi Sugimoto is a Japanese photographer born in Tokyo in 1948. He is known for his thought-provoking, minimalist images that show time, memory, and aspects of perception. He moved to the United States in the early 1970s, studying at the Art Center College of Design in Los Angeles. Sugimoto's work often uses traditional techniques like black and white film and long exposures, which he believes preserve the purity of photography. His practices include sculpting, performing art productions, and architecture. He has many other art pieces, but we'll only go in depth about four in particular. There's the U.A. Walker, New York, Bowdoin Sea, Henry VIII, and the Polar Bear. The first art piece we'll be looking at is Hiroshi's U.A. Walker, New York, 1978 piece. This piece is a part of his theater series, where he captures movie theaters using a unique technique. Sugimoto uses his camera and puts long exposure and keeps the shutter open for the entire length of the film. This makes the screen look like it's glowing white, while the rest of the theater's details were lit up from this light. Sugimoto's techniques in this image captures the sense of passage of time in a single image, giving a static view of the movie. The second art piece we'll be looking at is Bowdoin Sea Utwil in 1993. This piece is a part of his Seascapes series, where he captures the horizon line between sea and sky. For this type of photography, Sugimoto uses a large format camera and long exposure once again to create a minimalistic image that emphasizes subtle variations in light. This technique allows Sugimoto to explore themes of time, perception, and much more.
Next, we'll be looking at his photograph of Henry VIII in 1999 as part of his portrait series. In this series, he photographs wax figures of historical figures to explore the themes of reality and representation. For this piece in particular, Sugimoto photographed a wax figure of Henry VIII at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in London, which was originally based on a 16th century painting by Hans Holbein the Younger. He used a large format camera and carefully controlled lighting to create a black and white image that emphasizes the texture and the detail of the figure, resulting in a photograph that blurs the line between reality and artifice. Also, as part of this series of historical figures, they're meant to show these historical figures twice removed from their subjects, made by photographing a wax figure that has been created by a sculptor from either a photographic portrait or a painted one. Sugimoto shoots his subject in black and white, like usual, posing the sitter against a black background, amplifying the illusion that we are viewing a contemporary portrait in which the subject has stepped out of history. Next up, we're looking at Polar Bear from 1976. This is his notable work from his diorama series, where he photographs natural history museum displays in order to explore the themes of reality and illusion. For this piece, Sugimoto captured a diorama at the American Museum of Natural History in New York, depicting a polar bear in an Arctic setting. He used a large format camera and black and white film as per usual, employing careful framing and exposure to make the scene appear more lifelike, challenging the viewer's perception of authenticity. Now keep in mind that these photos are meant to draw attention not to the natural world itself, but to how it is represented in museums, and as Sugimoto's shadows on some of the images suggest, how these dioramas are looked at as well. His photos question the objectivity of both museum dioramas and photographs. Media understood to provide viewers with an accurate representation of reality and impel us to reconsider the authority of these media and the position from which we view them. With these four significant pieces of art, there are three main takeaways that serve as Hiroshi Sugimoto's main photographic techniques. First of all, for Hiroshi, photography isn't about capturing moments. It's more of a way to explore how time feels and changes. He wants to make time visible in a unique way, freezing it to show how things can both be temporary and timeless. Furthermore, his main technique is long exposure photography, which means he keeps the camera shutter open for a long time, and this turns moments into something permanent, creating images that blend realism and abstraction. Lastly, as for his signature black and white photography style, it is said that it is used to capture gradations and tonalities in the absence of color. Also, the muted grays evoke a sense of serenity and spirituality. Lastly, black and white photos are harder to work with, and in this case, Hiroshi Sugimoto enjoys the challenge. And last but not least, we will look at his cultural and philosophical influences. Hiroshi Sugimoto's work is deeply influenced by Japanese Zen Buddhism, and especially the idea of impermanence, which is the belief that everything is constantly changing and that nothing lasts forever. This concept shows how he views time and reality, and in his photographs, he tries to capture something timeless within the temporary, like oceans that have looked the same for centuries, or the glow of a movie theater screen, representing an entire movie's worth of time in one frame. His art makes viewers think about the fleeting nature of life and the beauty found in moments that can't last. Sugimoto's work also draws from the traditional Japanese aesthetics, like wabi-sabi, which finds beauty in imperfection, simplicity, and natural aging. This idea is visible in his black and white photos, where he accepts the imperfections and allows subtle details to stand out. He reflects wabi-sabi's appreciation for the incomplete and the imperfect. Through these influences, Sugimoto's work becomes a meditation on beauty, change, and the quiet elegance of the world as it is.